What up, what up, what up?
Happy Tuesday!
Happy Tuesday. Okay.
Y'all missed it.
All right. So
it was cute.
I heard everyone.
You're going on the Instagram.
I have everyone on Instagram and YouTube and everything. I hear you. Like, especially, I gotta say, Angelica from A Little Bit of Everything's podcast. I get it. I hear you guys. I hear everyone out there.
Hey, to be fair, we kind of pulled a Power move. Like where Power changed their theme song and you're like looking forward to sing along and then they ruined it. We kind of did the same thing.
I'm used to this theme song for... we did that intro for how long did we do that for? For like 60 something? 60.
Did we do it in the very beginning? I don't know if we did the Happy Tuesday.
Maybe not the first episode, but like it's been at least 60 episodes of us giving the Happy Fridays and Happy Tuesdays to the world. I get it, guys. I'm with you. I like to start this off positive, put out the vibes. I get it. I'm here with you. So I'll continue it. I'm holding it down. All I got to say is that when I start off the intro, you got to start it off with me.
Who?
Well, not you because you don't want to start off with me. But everyone else listening because those are my people. You're sadly not my people.
Excuse me.
Because you don't start it off with me.
I'm the main peep.
Uh-huh.
Peep, peep.
Man. What is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I am joined by my lovely fiance.
The main peep, Lauren.
Not even sure if I said that right. I think I said it right.
Fiance? Or my name?
Disregard it. If you didn't catch it, we're good. Maybe I'm just thinking.
I'm gonna play this back. Excuse me.
Maybe I'm off.
Who are you talking about?
Oh man. All right. Real quick though, I just want to touch on. Yeah, I appreciate the support. Even though everyone was joking on me and being like, you know, what up, or like, and like just leaving it off with a not like saying the Happy Friday or Happy Tuesday after, or some people were like Happy Friday. Like, I get it. I appreciate the support. I dig that everyone's listening into it. It was cool. Seeing everyone like reach out and like give their like 2 cents, being like, man, come on. With that being said, I liked what we did with Tuesday's episode when we got into couple goals, and I really liked that conversation. So I want to take it to another like couple related thing that I think a lot of couples go through and talk about expectations in a relationship. What?
I just felt like I hear more of you outside of the microphones than usual.
Well, you wanted the volume down.
I didn't know it was going to be that down.
Do you want to up?
You can put up a little bit.
Well, like I said, I want to talk about expectations in a relationship.
I expect you to be perfect 24/7. That's it. All right. I think that's pretty reasonable. Right, guys? Okay. Next topic.
So there's a comment I saw looking through stuff. What?
It still sounds the same.
Oh, my God.
No, does it not to you? I just want to make sure it's like all good. Oh.
Dog, it doesn't. You guys don't hear it, but it's the audio that we hear in our headphones. She wants to hear her voice more.
But now you can put it down a tiny bit.
I'm not. Well, no, we're just gonna rock with it. Like, dog,
fine. If I get a headache,
blame the people.
Nah, I'm gonna blame you.
Okay. So I want to talk about this. I feel like this is a major thing, and I saw someone's comment that I thought was super interesting, and I'm gonna start here with this one. Check it.
I'm listening.
So, you know how we say that you shouldn't use porn as your basis for sex?
Okay.
You ready for this one?
Uh-oh.
You ready?
I don't know.
You shouldn't use romantic comedies for how you should view a relationship or how you should expect a relationship to be.
You know what? I feel that was
not even relationship comedies.
I feel triggered.
I saw that comment.
That was rude.
And I was like, yo, that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
That is so true.
I feel attacked.
That is so true. Because women have like this thing, and like when we first met online, on your profile page way back in those days, I think you had like hopeless romantic or something like that.
Yeah, I still say I am.
I'm like, dog,
because I like just those like traditional romantic gestures.
I get it and all that stuff, but man, it's expectations in a relationship could really kill it. And what? Man, back off.
But it sounds weird on the mic.
And I say this because we touched on this a little bit with couple goals on last Tuesday's episode. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Great conversation.
I was gonna say this sounds similar to what we were saying.
Exactly, and I wanted to like expound on it because it kind of touches, onto it. Like, there's a lot that. I'll start here. Let me say this: in the beginning stages of a relationship, you're probably putting your best foot forward, and you're like, man, I'm gonna show this guy or girl that like. I'm the bomb, I'm cool, all this stuff. And you may go a little out of the norm of what you normally don't do, with just like, a close friend or whatever the case is. You follow what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
And then that issue, I don't know, like.
The issue arises when you don't keep doing it because it's not really you. Yeah. And that's what you showed the person liked it, so the person wants it.
And see, this is my issue. This is my issue here. I see this all the time on Twitter. Like, literally, I feel like I go on Twitter and I see these women making up what could be true tweets or could be fake tweets or whatever. I don't know. But I'm not sure if you see these where they're like, my ex-boyfriend didn't do this, and that for me. Now here goes my new boyfriend, and he, supports me, this and that, and all that. I'm like, I see these all the time.
I mean, I don't know if those are real or fake, but I mean, there's some truth to it because, yeah, you definitely want to get better as you go through relationships. You want to find someone who's better in areas.
Of course, but I feel like, I don't know. Like, I feel like those posts kind of bother me.
Why? People mad at their exes.
It's like, I don't trust, like... It also feels like you're setting that person up for some like heavy expectations because that guy that you're like putting on a pedestal right now because you're all cool in a relationship for the first few months. Here we go. I follow you, and we see like 6 months, a year down the road, and you're sitting here like, man, my boyfriend's so lazy, he's not doing this or whatever the case is, and it's like.
I think what happens a lot though in relationships is we get comfortable, and with getting comfortable, yeah, there's pros to it because it's nice to just. Be cool in a relationship, know who you're coming home to, and like be able to be yourself. But then also, if you get too comfortable, a lot of times you do get kind of lazy with it could be gestures or it could be dating, like actually going on dates, like it could be like different stuff. And so like I feel like it's hard, sure, like we go through it, but like you kind of should try to keep the spark alive because yeah, you still want to have that kind of that attraction and that intimacy and the love and like the lust and just everything that was there in the beginning.
Why do women feel like they should like always get chocolates or always get flowers or always get like those like those like cliche items often?
Well, sir, as far as chocolates,
what?
Chocolates are amazing, just period, all the time. And second of all, they're extra amazing on our monthly. So
okay.
That's why we like chocolate.
Okay, that's great.
That's a very justified want. The flowers, everyone's different. There's actually some people that just like, they don't want that. They think it's a waste. They hate them, whatever.
Yeah.
See, I like it because once again, I would classify as a hopeless romantic that likes the like traditional gestures. And that's not a problem. That's just me.
I'm not.
Liking flowers from someone is not a problem.
No, it's not. That's not the problem part. The problem is expecting it. Expecting it too often.
Too often.
Not, and I say it's not in the current stage because, we haven't we kind of like compromised on something there, and like at least my workflow is. I'm gonna put this out there, so now and now everyone else knows. My workflow when it comes to like getting you flowers is like, okay, birthday. Anniversary.
I know you don't do the
Valentine's
surprises,
Day.
Which is the one
Yes, I did. I did it back in the summer. Like, what was it? June, July.
Remember summer. That?
Yeah. You don't remember this?
It was my birthday.
Oh, yeah, that was your birthday for that one.
I swear you have not done a surprise in a long time.
Well, it's coming up. You're going to get some for December, obviously. You're going to get some for February.
Yes,
then
but I'm saying these are the obvious ones.
Okay. I got to let it dry out first.
See, this is... I think this is where the couples goals things come in, like last week, is the whole people will post on Facebook and Instagram stuff. They'll always be like, surprise flowers for my honey. And he knows me and he loves me and all that stuff. And like that, yeah.
You're going to get surprise flowers after February because during that month of like...
Well, then that's a surprise. Now I know when it's coming.
No, well, you don't know exactly, but in between Friday, in between February to August, there's a dry spell right there. I gotta get you flowers somewhere in between.
Yeah, because he don't get me Easter flowers, even though Easter flowers are very pretty.
Now, hold on. Now you want Easter flowers on top of this?
I'm just saying, have you seen like Easter flowers are very pretty? Like
no,
the assortments?
why would I look at flowers any other time except for to get
you love me, and you know I love flowers. Oh, you guys on YouTube, did you see that? Excuse me.
Like, and I get it. I did
flustered.
I did some dope things to like set the expectations high in like the early stage of a relationship. Fault. Like, dog. Like I said, if we have a son, I'm giving him game, but now I'm also like teaching him where it's like, all right, don't go too extreme. I understand this now. I didn't have a guy to sit there and be like, hey, do this for her, but don't. But
here's the cool
extreme.
Thing: some people can stay that way. It's not like you can go extreme and then
but it
just
also comes down to money.
Fall off.
It also comes down to money.
Okay, but we've talked about this. The things I like are not all expensive. Yeah. I've literally told... See, here's the thing, guys. He does not want to understand.
See, a girl would like that. When it comes like, hey, he wants to ball out or something.
That's great. But since we can't, and I think it's still important to keep that spark alive, what I'm saying is, like, I've told him, I'm like, literally get me a $5 flower at Stop and Shop or something. Like, I don't care. But he's the one over here, like... No, it has to be this elaborate $30 or $40 bouquet from the thing. And like all this.
Me.
And here's the thing. I like it. I'm not saying I don't.
I'm trying to give you the world.
However, but if you look at the price difference and you look at how often it happens, boom, problem solved.
Okay.
That's it. One of these days, women can totally be logical. That was logical.
I wouldn't say that all the time. Like that's.
I did not say all the time. I just said we can be.
Oh yeah, you can be. Sometimes out of the year, maybe that.
Get out.
2-3 times out of exactly. And it's like I see my mistakes where it's like, damn, like in the early stages, like I made some dope projects. Like I did a glass jar with like.
Yep, and have we added to it ever since our first anniversary? He did this jar from our first anniversary, and it's all our like special moments in the first year. And he printed them on like photo paper and cut them into hearts, and they're all different colors and all this stuff. And he was like, and he's over here on the first freaking anniversary, almost 4 years ago, saying, "Oh, and this is something we can add to every year."
Yeah.
Where it at, though? That jar should be full.
Well, I was hoping to have your help with that.
I'd never heard you want to do it, though.
Yeah.
Where's
that takes time, dog. I spent so many nights. And
isn't it worth it for someone like me?
We'll go with that one.
Wow. Wow, you setting yourself up here.
Oh. There may not be an episode coming out. Like,
That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed Happy Tuesday while it lasted.
So, and I feel like, do you set expectations for a lot of people, like outside of the relationship, like friends?
I feel like everybody does.
I don't.
I feel like no, but in general, I feel like a lot of people have expectations for different things or different people. It doesn't have to be anything big, but it could be as simple as like expecting my friend to be there or something if I'm sad. Like it could be something simple.
See, that's my issue though, because expecting anything from anyone. That's a problem.
No, but I'm also not saying like, oh, every time, I'm down about something, oh, they have to be there at my beck and call. No, I'm saying like if I were to reach out to them, yeah, it's like then you kind of expect reciprocation there. Like, because it's like, yeah, why would you want to have a crap friend who's like doesn't care? That's the thing too. Obviously, you have a relationship with this person. There's care there. There's trust. There's bond. You know,
see, I look at it differently because I'm like, if my friend doesn't want to take this on, I'll be like, yo, it's not your problem. So I totally get it. I'll go invent and make a YouTube video and just post that up and be like, yo, guys, hear my pain.
Leave Brittany alone.
Like, I feel like, again, this isn't something I talked about to my guy friends, so I'm not sure how they would handle it. But I feel like with the women, they handle expectations with everyone a bit on the extreme, where it's like, damn, I can't hang out with you, or you have plans or something, and like you guys take it so offensively. Like relax. Like no one did anything to you. Like other people have lives, other people have everything. Like I don't know. There's like a sense of entitlement there.
What?
Like just nothing to add.
I don't know. Not always. Like you're assuming.
I don't assume. I just feel.
Okay.
I just feel.
We're not all as that's the thing too is men want to label us so emotional and all this stuff all the time, and it's like we're not always. But also being emotional isn't a problem, and if we are, like, there's a reason.
It's not a problem, but when you say you're not always emotional, what does that mean?
That we are logical as well. You don't want to go here.
I kind of do. I'm kind of interested.
Sir.
Like,
on the podcast, putting half potentially of your listeners down, maybe more. Who knows?
Of what, guys?
Women.
Oh, no. I'm trying to see what your case is. That I'm just trying to understand.
I just hit you with the logic a little bit ago.
Okay, but like, let me hear more logic.
Oh my gosh,
I'm interested.
I don't have other examples right now.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, like this.
So in a past relationship.
There's a lot of female doctors and lawyers and all that. That's very logical.
Okay. Okay. In a past relationship, I'm not sure how touchy I want to get with this one.
Oh boy, here we go.
Ah, man. Were your expectations extreme of what you wanted?
Babe.
That's vague. Take it however you want to take it.
Babe, I was borderline psycho in my last relationship, okay?
Oh, God. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I give you credit there.
I'm not proud of who I was in my last relationship. So, sure.
And I think that comes with, like, age.
Yes, very much so. Because obviously I kind of came into this relationship still being a part of that person because it was so close afterwards.
Yeah, dog, you different now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like the definition of the Somebody You Used to Know song. Because it's like, it's been so long. It's like 5 years. And it's like, you're just a completely different person at this point. It's like,
yeah,
I'm not that person anymore. Like it's like we couldn't go face to face and be like, I know you, like today. We don't.
I feel like you back then was very unreasonable. You now, I could at least, like, after you cool down on a situation, I could at least, like, go over it a bit more and you have a bit more reason to what is happening. I'm not saying it. There's nothing wrong there. I'm just giving you, again, props.
I just see Missy slinking back. She's like, I'm going to get away from her because I don't know if this is the right time to be close to her. Hi, you're back.
But, like...
Yeah. No, I get you.
I'm trying to think of, like, some instance.
Priorities change. Priorities and feelings and your stances on stuff. Like, stuff changes.
So what would you tell your, like, daughter that was, like, going through a similar thing? That's, like, that you see her, it's like, sitting there saying, man, he's not doing this, he's not doing that.
I don't know, because it's really weird. Like, what I could tell her right now would probably be different than what I'll actually tell her 20 years from now. That's the problem.
Of course. Because I see this with, like, currently my siblings, more so I'll say my sisters, they're dating. So, like, I see pieces of, like... Okay.
I don't know. You're the older brother, so it's like a thing, I feel like.
So, like, I see how they act, and it's like... Where, like, they're a bit more, like, aggressive with it. Like, they kind of hold it down.
Okay.
And I'm like... Just make sure you're not being, like, too unreasonable. Is my only, like, thought.
Oh, like the whole who wears the pants.
Yeah. Like, don't go... Like, it has to be... That's my issue. I feel like women, like, have these heavy expectations of, like, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that, and if you don't do it, we have a problem. There's no, like, talking about it. There's nothing about, like, working together on it. Like,
because compromise at the end of the day is a hard thing. And no one's really taught how to compromise. Because if you think about it, it's like when you grow up as a child, there's no real compromise. Like, your parents tell you how it is. They tell you what to do. Like, there's no compromise. Even in school, like, okay, you have to do this assignment. That's just how it is. Like, everything. So it's like, you're not really taught how to compromise. And then all of a sudden, you're thrown into a relationship where, okay, now listen, the rules have changed.
I like this. Okay, I like where you're going with this. Because you're bringing that up. We start out like that as kids, getting orders from our parents, like, you got to do this. You can't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then here you go as a teenager in high school, 13, 14, whatever, and you see a guy, girl, whatever, and you get in a relationship, and here we go, where it's like, man, I see this other couple taking pictures on Instagram and all that stuff.
Now you're basing it off of what you see from people in life, or, again, the movies.
We have to do this. We have to do that.
Yeah. Again, because it's like the porn syndrome. Where, like, yeah, where else are you going to learn it if no one has taught you, told you, showed you anything, like, different? So it's like, of course, you're going to take examples, and then now this causes an issue, because now we have to learn together, how do two different people with different ideologies function as a functioning couple and learn how to compromise when you never did that before. It's true.
I like this. I like where you're going with that.
Like,
that really makes sense.
Right. So it's like, I feel like the thing is, compromise is the thing that everybody says. And all of our freaking RSVPs, like, most of them say some form of either compromise or communication. That's what people always talk about in long-lasting, successful relationships. And it's true. But it's something that is, like, one of the hardest things to learn and master. And it's like, you always have to keep working on it, because eventually you guys are going to keep growing too. You can grow individually, and you have to make sure you're still growing together. And so it's like this whole, it's a constant thing.
So it's funny that you say that, because I was just thinking, I'm like, that's kind of how I want to, like, raise our kids. Like, yeah, I'm going to tell you what to do, but in certain cases, like, I want to know where you stand on something. Like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Like, I kind of want to, like, I don't even know what you want. Like, instead of just giving orders.
Well, it could be as simple as, okay, say their bedtime is 8 o'clock, but they're like, oh, I want to stay up till 9 because I'm in the middle of so-and-so or whatever. And you say, okay, well, how about we do 8:30? That's a compromise.
And if they push back and say 9, what you gonna do?
Then you teach them compromise.
Okay.
See, the thing is, with compromise, pretty much both people are not going to get exactly what they want. That's what it is. You're coming to a middle ground. You're creating kind of a new category.
I wouldn't say that all the time, but I get what you're saying. And this is going to sound really weird.
Well, if you got exactly what you wanted, then there would be no reason for compromise.
I'm not saying compromise all the time is going to be like, man, we get half and half, or we get, like, it's every now and then it's like, it may work in your favor, it may not.
Right.
You're just learning this is how it's going to be.
Right.
And I feel like I always credited myself to always liking puzzle games, because it always, like, made my mind work differently of, like, oh, this is how I solve a problem. Oh, we can do this. We can do that.
Right.
Like, and that's one way, like, I would love to, like, steer a future kid into, is, like, maybe work on, like games that, like play with your mind as far as, like, thinking differently when it comes to you being in a situation or a problem, instead of just being like, man, I see a wall in front of me. I can't get past it. But little do you know, you can, get the ladder that's behind you, or go around it, or, like.
There was a really good video I saw online of, literally, it was a dog. It was like this big dog, right? And he was at this fence door, and it was closed, and he's barking, he's freaking out, he's like, why can't I get through? The guy literally pans a little bit to the left, and there's no fence at all there. Like, it's open. He could literally just go around the door and get into the yard. Yeah. But he's so focused that he's like, why aren't you opening the door for me? And people do the same freaking thing. Yeah.
And that's why, like, I do it to you, and I know you don't like it, but I'm so heavy on, like, yo, think about it. Take a moment, sit back, and, like, understand the problem that you have and figure out the solutions. I love these video games that I can play, and, like, they give me like the Mario game. Yeah. It's a simple kids game, and it's like that on the surface, but when you break it down, like, there's different, like, moons certain ways, and, like, you have to, like, figure out how to get to it, and, like, it's a lot of playing with your mind and, like, understanding how you're going to get to that place you want to be. So I don't know. This is a lot.
To answer your question, I don't know. If my daughter came to me and she's a teenager and she's getting into relationships and stuff, I don't know. I'm the type that I'll give you advice, sure. But I also know you're not going to listen to what you're not ready to hear. Mm-hmm. So you are going to have to learn stuff the hard way. Yeah, because as a teenage daughter, she's not going to want to listen to what I took 10 years to learn. You know what I mean? Like, and what you learn as you're an adult with actual responsibilities, not just like high school and like things like that. Like it's the thing is, you know, I remember learning in school how people laugh at like kids' problems, like, oh, you're like upset over, you know, whatever it is, and I'm over here struggling to pay bills or whatever it is. But the reality is these problems they have are as big to them at that age as ours are at our age. It's just that they don't know.
Doug, I'm going to also add to this. This is what I say when I have an issue, and even though it's not something that you relate with, it's subjective and all that. Like, dog, like, it's like, So I get what you're saying, and that's how I treat it with everyone. Like, if you're going through something, it's important to you, and it's like, I get that. And then if I have something, it's important to me, and I feel like we constantly like undermine what someone else is going through, and we're gonna talk about this on Friday's episode a bit more, of course, because. Oh man, there's a lot we want to talk about with being undermined and being in a relationship.
Yeah.
But I totally understand. That's another thing that like I don't think I ever said to you, but like I'm gonna be really mindful of. It's not like oh man, you stubbed your toe or you dropped a ball somewhere and it's a super big deal, and I'm sitting here like it's a ball, whatever. Like that's one of my ideas as a parent to like hopefully be mindful and not overlook that.
Right, because it's so easy to, like, look at a 3-year-old and be like, why are you crying? Like, why are you upset over this? Like, this is so ridiculous. But the 3-year-old doesn't know better. Yeah. That's their life in that moment. That's a big deal to them because their life was going smooth until that happened. You know, and now they're faced with this problem and they don't know how to overcome it. Yeah. It's all a freaking learning process through the ages. So I don't know. So it's like, I'll more than anything, especially with a daughter, but with whoever, it's like, I just want to be the parent that they can come to and that, you know, you can literally talk to me about anything. Like, I want to be the parent that, like, it's not uncomfortable to talk about sex and stuff like that. Like, we're cool. Like, if you are concerned about something that happened, you know, something's not feeling right or whatever, like, you can totally tell me that kind of thing. Like, I want to be the parent that it's not awkward, it's not scary, it's not weird to like come to me over anything, and that, you know, we have that kind of bond. So more than anything, that's really it. So that, hey, yeah, sure, when you're 15, 20, 25, 30, those different relationships, we can still talk about it all and we'll go through it together, kind of thing.
Rock with it.
So
I like that conversation.
Yeah,
I think that's all I got on that one. I don't know. I just feel like expectations in a relationship aren't the greatest. If you currently are like saying to your partner, whether it's a guy, girl, whoever, and you're like expecting them to do this or that for you, I would literally have a conversation and like figure out what's gonna work for both of you. What I've learned, like living together for the past 3 years now, and like having these certain issues, and like being like, man, this is the issue we have. How do we work out something that's manageable? And it's like we still go through issues today. Like we're still trying to figure out how we're gonna handle dishwashers during the week, because sometimes I'm stressed out on certain days and I don't want to do the dishwasher. Like, so
stupid. It sounds really stupid when you say it,
but nonetheless, we're
tired, guys. Okay, we're busy and tired.
But nonetheless, it's like it's still instead of just fighting, it's like, okay, what can we do to resolve these issues so it's less fighting and more like
loving.
Yeah.
Aww.
So I just want to have the conversation because I thought it'd be interesting to have. So thank you for indulging.
Now on to something stupid.
Pretty much.
After that intellectual bit, we have to dumb it down now.
So you wanted to talk about this whole like Kylie Jenner rise and shine thing.
Rise and shine.
Take it all over. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. I just wanted to bring up because probably all of you guys have heard by now. A few days ago, I don't know what it was an interview for. It was probably an interview for something, but there's a clip going online where she walks into her daughter's room and sings Rise and Shine. And so immediately people took off with this and made a million parodies and GIFs and memes and everything. Kylie herself was playing along and retweeting stuff and all this. But where it got really interesting for me was the fact that I want to say within 24 hours, they made a whole merch line of it. And like, I'm talking like a $65 sweatshirt. And like, it's funny because speaking of, YouTubers and all that, Jaclyn Hill had tweeted and she did the most perfect line. She said, "The devil works fast, but," and then like people had to finish. And it means like Kris Jenner works faster or harder or whatever. Like the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder.
I see.
Because like, come on, in 24 hours, she had multiple options. And it's like, wow, get that money. And people are like, sorry, but this is why she's a billionaire. Like, you could say what you want, but I mean,
knows how to get the money.
The funny thing is, yeah, people are gonna buy it. So I may not agree with it, but hey, get your coin.
My 2 cents. You told me about this. I didn't know anything about it because I don't care about Kylie that much.
I didn't want to know about it. It was just everywhere on my freaking timeline.
It's not on mine. Non-existent. So I go on. I Google this video. Feel free to check it out. You can find it if you haven't. It's like Kylie Jenner Rise and Shine if you Google it. So I pulled up an article and they have the video there, and it's a 9-second clip. Literally of her opening a door, of showing like some camera crew or whatever, yeah. her daughter in the bedroom, and she goes in for just a second, and it's like rise and I just messed that up. Goddamn, rise and shine.
Well, people are making fun of it because they're saying it's more like rise and shine.
Nonetheless, dog, if that whole
like with the H,
if that second was clipped off that 9-second like thing, that this would not be anything. You would see her open a door, her daughter be in there, and that be it. Like,
well, and people were saying the real MVP was the guy who was waiting in the dark bedroom,
right? Because
there's a camera there, and they're like, this guy was just waiting for her to open up the door.
And you gotta get those shots. The baby sitting there like, why is there a weird man in my room? Like, did anyone not think that was strange? Like,
right? Like the kid is just like,
mommy, there's
please.
something in here.
I think she's already used to it by now.
I can't sleep.
Then there's a clip, everyone, and it says on Twitter, it says everyone is talking about Rise and Shine by Kylie Jenner, but what about Joy and Pride by Kris Jenner? And this is from like when she was young.
Oh,
okay, hold on. Hold on, listen.
December 5th, and now I'm 30, riding down life highway with my friends at my side. My life without them wouldn't be complete. They are my joy and pride.
What the heck?
What is with this family?
What the heck?
They are my joy and pride.
How long ago was that?
She was 30, she said in the video.
Oh.
This is like OJ days.
Speaking of OJ, OJ's going wild on the timeline. Like,
but what is with this family in the random state? Like, Kim Kardashian did the whole music video, 8 years ago or something? Like, what is with this family trying to sing? And they're just, no.
Rise and shine.
Joy and pride. And people are making fun of that video because it pans to her in the car by herself, and she's talking about riding in the car with her friends. And people are like, I've never seen something more relatable. So it's like, I don't know.
Oh, man.
So yeah, that was a thing.
That was silly.
Yeah, so yeah, that was just, current event that's happening.
Okay.
She took over the freaking internet for a day with this stupid shit.
Correction. She took over your internet.
Twitter.
She took over your Twitter. My Twitter was over here popping, talking about my new boyfriend better than my ex-boyfriend. Snap, snap. Like, okay, girl.
She got a point. Snap, snap.
Get it.
Hey.
So I'm gonna talk about something that has me a bit confused and irritated. So we'll take it all types of turns.
Swerve. Slide to the left.
So
slide to the right. Crisscross.
Chill.
Everybody clap your hands.
Oh, this isn't the article to do this to.
Oh, sorry. Totally bad timing.
Like, this is the article.
I'm sorry if that's so inappropriate. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this Atatiana Jefferson, like, being shot by a cop.
Oh, my bad. I did not mean to clap at that.
Exactly. This is, like, right off the heels of, like, the whole Amber Geiger, Billie Jean, like, trial and, like, all that stuff. So, like, this is interesting to me. So, to give you some backstory, because you don't know much about it, right?
Nope.
Okay. So, give you a backstory. So, this the neighbor looks outside his door, sees Atatiana Jefferson's house. I guess the door was, like, wide open, and it was, like, 2 a.m. So, he's like, oh, that's weird. Like, their cars are all there. Like, huh. So, he called the police. He's like, hey, my neighbor's front door is wide open. I'm not sure what's going on. Could someone, like, just do a wellness check just to make sure everything's fine? He didn't, like, this is a black guy, so he knows not to mention things like, say it's a robbery, anything. He's like, he's
right.
concerned.
Right.
Because it's weird. 2 a.m, you wake up, you look outside, you're like, huh? So, this footage that you can, like, look up to see of the cop's body cam. So the police officer, I guess he parked down the road, goes to the house, and he's, like, combing around the house looking through windows. And then throughout one of the windows, he could see Atatiana Jefferson through the window. And he's, like, he sees her. He says, put your hands up or whatever. And then he shoots. Like
immediately?
Pretty much.
Dude.
That's
not how that works.
Like, man.
And she died?
Yeah.
Wait, so... So he didn't even try to check the house at all. He didn't look...
He went around the house to look through windows.
Okay. But...
So... Here's the thing. There was a gun in the house, but she didn't have the gun in her hand is what I believe.
I would assume she probably didn't. If it's her own freaking house.
I believe.
And this is... Why... Do we know why the door was open at this point?
Well, I don't think you do know, because I think only she was there and her son.
Oh.
So no one, like, the only person would know would be the kid, and I'm not sure if the kid even knows.
How old is he?
I don't think the article says. He's a minor.
Wow, that's depressing.
But I guess they were up late playing Call of Duty or whatever, and, like, she hears noises. You're gonna go check it out. Like, okay, you hear something outside, you're gonna go see what's up. I don't know why the front door is open. That's kind of weird. Like, we don't really have an answer for that, because the person that would have the answer
is dead.
Yeah. Wait, huh? Maybe she did have the gun, because the article, I'm looking at a Vice article, and they said, supposedly, this is what the officer said. He said Jefferson retrieved a handgun, which she legally owns, from her purse. She raised her gun, pointed it toward the window, and then was shot. So supposedly, going based on what the cops are saying.
Yeah, because it makes it sound like he had justification.
Yeah. But then again,
we don't know if that's true or not is the problem.
Doug, you're running around my house. I get the doors open.
It's 2 a.m. No, I get it. Because if it's only her and the son.
Oh.
That's like when I'm home alone. Like when you went on that conference and stuff. I'm freaked out, okay? Like if it's late and I'm over here like locking all the doors and I'm like, and it's dark and you don't know what's going on. Listen.
Like, and he didn't say it's the police. Like he gave no indication that he's an officer.
Dumb.
Like the first thing would be like, it's the police. Put your hands up.
Right.
Like
common sense.
Like you have a flashlight in the window where she can't tell who it is.
Right, I can't see you if you're pointing it at me. Yeah.
Like, and it's just it's irritating.
God.
And it's coming to the point where it's like, should we even call the police at all if we see anything? Like,
I wonder if that guy that called feels bad.
That's the next thing, yeah. It's like, you do a simple thing, because that's something we would do.
Like, you tried to do the right thing.
We would do to, like, our neighbors, because they're elderly, or they look elderly, is what I would consider them as.
Yeah.
And if I saw that happening, I'm like, that's weird. That never happens. Like, one day, a few months ago, their garage door was, like, wide open, and I'm like, that's weird. Mm-hmm. But we're in a nice neighborhood. Nothing's going to happen. Whatever. They probably just forgot to put it down.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was their front door, I'm like, that's weird. It's been open for the whole night.
Like, dang, I would feel so guilty. And it's like, you didn't even do anything wrong. You just were trying to do the right thing and help like a citizen. That's terrible.
And, okay, here goes the next part of this. So, like I said, we're hot off the Amber Geiger, both Gene thing, all that stuff. We're hot off it. So, if it feels like it's a bit of a win when they're like, hey, we're charging this guy with murder.
Oh, right.
But it doesn't mean anything.
Because it's, yeah.
Because it's like, I think the both Gene thing was in Texas also, because it was in Texas. And it's like, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, you know that, okay, you can't wait to charge this guy. We'll just charge you immediately. Do that. And it's like, even though he resigned instead of getting fired, like, that's something up. They're clearly
I hate when they give them the option to resign first. So
you know, they were like,
better.
Hey, we're gonna have to fire you.
Yeah, no, they're like, you need to resign.
And it's like, yo, it's so irritating. And
man, you better not get a pink slip then. If you resign in, that means you don't get unemployment. That's all I know. So if it's actually a resignation. Oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying.
It's just irritating, man. Like, when that came out, it's like, wow. Like, another case of just living while black. Like,
can't relate.
Obviously. I really, like, yeah, I had to talk about that. I had to get my 2 cents on it, because that's wild. On to other news. And also, I gotta say, as always, rest in peace, Atatiana Jefferson. I'm gonna continue to like kind of follow this to trial, assuming that he goes to trial.
Watch, it'll probably take a year again.
And I just want to see. I hope something happens. I hope he gets time for this. Like, I get you probably didn't mean it, but you didn't follow protocol, and you killed someone. Like, the next thing, which kind of rallies into this whole like police related stuff, is when they see us. So supposedly these cops are trying to sue Ava DuVernay.
I saw this.
They're trying to say it's for defamation for that whole like interrogation stuff. Mm-hmm. And what's wild is you can go on YouTube right now
and see the actual clips.
Exactly. Yep. Maybe not as aggressive as they were, like, because you're not going to put that out there.
Everybody knows in Hollywood they dramatize things.
No, but like these are like that's the actual footage.
Oh.
Like that's on YouTube.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the.
No, what's on YouTube? Dog, just put the dog down.
I'm trying to.
What's on YouTube is like the actual like interview like footage from the actual day.
Right.
So it's old, it's grainy and all stuff, and it's like, yeah, the cops aren't as aggressive, but you see the kids that like you see their faces of them being frightened and scared, and it's like, come on now, like stop saying she's sitting here. Oh my God, you're slandering us. You're messing up our image, and it's like, you telling me
you messed it up on your own.
You telling me these 5 guys got this wrong? Like they're just making this up?
Man.
I have a feeling. Watch, they're gonna want to get that whole series off Netflix because that just destroys their image.
Man,
and especially with these guys being out. So many
people already saw it though, so you're screwed. It doesn't matter. So that's dumb.
And I love that these guys are out and like they're out, like they're still, they're still like doing things for the community. They're supporting their people, their family. Like, I love what they're doing. It's all positive, so I love that. But it's like, get out of here. Like, just like the lady that was the lawyer, or was she a cop in that? She was like the head one that was like insisting that these kids did it. Like, I'm happy that she got hers and she got fired from her job. Like, you guys are doing things completely wrong. And no, like, I feel like this is gonna get dropped. Because how can you say I'm saying something that's false when it's clearly true?
There's evidence, yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me at all.
And why did they wait so long? It's been months.
Right? Wasn't this like back in...
It's like the beginning of summer, wasn't it?
June, May, somewhere around
come
there.
Come on. What?
They're like, oh, we finally saw this.
You're
like,
just trying to get money at this point.
We finally saw this. Like, man, take this down. Oh, man. All right, man. I'm not sure if I want to dive into this at all. This ASAP Rocky opening up about his sex addiction. Addiction. You want to talk about that?
I don't know. We gotta fit in the relationship stuff.
I got a relationship advice. It's not pulling up on my phone. Sorry. Can you type in your password there? My notes did not update with it. I'm like, no. Please tell me it's there. Please tell me it's there. No.
What happened?
It is not there. There was a topic that we were going to talk about on the podcast. Damn. It related to relationship stuff. God damn it.
Uh-oh.
God damn.
Can you look it up real fast?
God damn.
He's gonna look it up real fast. Missy, where'd you go?
God damn, guys.
Missy ran away from us. She's bored.
I'm sorry. This is so unprofessional.
Come on, we were having such a solid podcast. Hi, welcome back. Do you want to say something to the audience?
So, I guess as I'm trying to pull this up here.
She says, someone give me more food.
As I'm trying to pull this up here to keep this conversation going. What do you do if you find out your friends and your I guess your friend that's a girl, more so, is the person that has like wild expectations of like how their boyfriend should treat them? Like, what do you say or do in that situation?
I mean, it's kind of hard because also every relationship has their own dynamics, is what I've found. And it's kind of like, just like people may not agree with what we do, I wouldn't want them to preach to me what to do. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of tricky.
But what if they're asking for your thoughts? Like, oh, man, isn't this not, like...
I don't know. I'd probably be honest, but I'd be gentle. Like, you don't want to be a bitch about it. God
damn. I don't think I'm going to find this. This is going to be a first episode without any...
No!
Oh, man. We could do this. The only thing is, what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to kill the YouTube. So I'm going to have to check on my actual phone.
No!
Alright, Todd, you're shouting in people's ears.
They want to see it. No, why don't you do on mine?
I can't because you don't have the phone app and I can't search through
what
this.
App? Reddit?
Again, it's going to take a while to download, dog.
No, it's not.
Oh my god.
It is not.
Oh my god.
You're being dramatic.
No, except to sign in and all that stuff. Like, it's not.
Guys, we got this. You want to stick with us, right? We've been doing a solid episode, right?
Oh my. You're talking to yourself.
No, because when they listen to this, they'll be like, yeah, we understand.
Someone's in their car like, yeah.
I would.
Pretty much. I do the same thing. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm like,
I hear you all the time. Yeah.
Yo, I'm listening to the Joe Budden podcast. I'm sitting there dying with everyone. Like, I'm right in the room with you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Listening to all the insensitive jokes and you're making your comments being like, ew, guys are so disgusting.
Yeah, that podcast is atrocious. It's very sexist and toxic masculinity.
No,
and
it's
all that.
not.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
there were
God.
so many times
Dog,
it was like, oh.
You need to stop shouting. That's what you need to do.
Sorry, guys.
Like, God
sorry.
Damn. Okay, I may have this.
Haha, see, I told you. He's all like, it's gonna take way too long. The miss. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Come here. Come here.
Oh, my God.
No, she wants to play. She's like, oh, now you want to say hi?
Dog, she's not going to say hi. What is she going to do, sniff the mic?
Yes, she's going to sniff the mic. Say hi, guys. Say hi.
Oh, here it is. I got it. All right, put the dog down.
And I'm the cute. Hold on, she has something to say.
Dog.
I'm Missy, and I'm the cutest dog in the whole wide world.
She's not saying anything. You're just talking. Put the dog down.
And I just thought you guys should know. And thank you so much to listen to Mom and Daddy's podcast because they work really hard on it. Okay, bye.
Oh, this is my life, guys.
What he neglects to tell you is how often he pretends to be Missy's voice.
Yo, but I'm like I'm the dopest Missy voice that you could have. I'm sitting there being like, nah, I don't want that toy. Like, I'm the coolest dog voice. Man, I gotta do a video on this. Right.
Okay.
So on to this one here. This is an interesting
that
one.
Looks long.
Do you want to read it?
No.
All right. So this guy goes on to say, my 24-year-old girlfriend. Whoa. Wait, right? Yeah. No, hold. I'm wrong. Already starting off with a hiccup.
Good job. This is gonna go great, guys.
Yo,
I'm just gonna watch that bug on the wall.
Yo, I dislike you right now. So the guy is 24. The girl is 21. They've been together for 2 years, and he feels that she has extremely unrealistic expectations of how, and he wants to know how do you reason with her. So he says, my girlfriend and I have been dating for 2 years, and up until recently, things have been phenomenal. That's great. We may not be the most similar, but we round each other out in many ways. Once I graduated from college, things took a turn for the worse. Dog, can you stop? I took a job where I was working many nights on top of pursuing an MBA, which congrats to you. And she works most days on top of taking some of the most strenuous coursework in her degree plan. We don't get to see each other that often, and it has created a rift in our relationship. It's also worth noting that neither of us are wealthy in any sense of the word. Lately, she has started saying that she wishes things were for us as they are in romantic movies.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Constantly bringing chocolates, flowers, surprise dates, so on and so forth. Uh-oh. I would love more than nothing else than to accommodate her. But our schedules and budgets make these things largely impossible. I hear you. Preach, brother. Preach.
Shut up. That's not all impossible, okay? $5. You can get $5 rose, okay? Anyone can afford that. No, shush.
Relax. Oh, man. God damn, you threw me off.
You can just pop up. You can pop up and be like, hi, surprise. Like, there's a lot of different things you can do, okay? Okay.
Rolled eyes.
Make her, like, put a romantic note in her lunch or something. Like, there's stuff you
Small
can
fries. Do. I've expressed to her my concerns about her expectations, telling her the comparison that I see often on here, and he puts in quotations, puts in parentheses, I don't expect her bedroom life to be like porn. But she doesn't see... Wait, what?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. She doesn't see it as an acceptable comparison, saying to me, in quotes, I deserve to be the best, and that movie-style romance is a part of that. Okay. And I just have a lot to think about. This girl is crazy. If I am the asshole here, please let me know. If your only advice is to break up with her, please take a second before advising me. I know that is a possible outcome, but I do want to salvage this if possible. My thanks in advance. Thoughts?
I mean, she has the same issue I had.
Can you elaborate on that?
I thought we've been elaborating on it.
What's the same issue? Like, recap it for the listeners.
Romanticizing stuff that isn't real.
Okay. So, it's tough. Because it sounds like they're both sitting there busting their butts through college. Like, working, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I get you want these things, and I would love to, like, give it to you and all that stuff, or at least work with you and getting you some of what you're looking for, is what it sounds like with this guy. But it's like you're going through a rough time. It's like, all right, you got to just hold it down. Like, you have to, like, bear with us, really. Because it's like you're both going through your own things. It's like, it's not just he's like, I'm working hard, I don't get to see you. It's you're also working hard, I don't get to see you also. Like, your schedules are packed.
Right.
I mean, what I would say for something like this is plan a day where, like, you guys don't book anything, like, outside of, like, each other, and say, hey, we're going to go out somewhere, travel somewhere, I don't know, like a day trip or something, where it's just the two of them. At least incorporate those a bit more.
Wow, that sounds nice. We should do that.
Yeah, that's tough because their schedules are...
Oh, now with my schedule, it's tough, but with their schedules, they can make that work.
Again, you don't have ideas. I don't have anything. I'm always down for, like, the classic.
Well, I was just told from my friend that we should try Vermont. There's places in Vermont that are nice.
Vermont is a drive.
It's like a couple hours.
Okay, let's get a Tesla. We can make that drive so painless. Dog, we're trying to compromise. You want to go to Vermont? I want to go to Vermont too, but in a Tesla. Okay.
Okay, now that's ridiculous. Anyways.
That's what I would say. Or even if you can't do a whole day, block out 2 hours or something. Maybe find a movie.
Yeah, like the thing that I've found, as much as I like stuff and as much as I like gestures and all that, I like when I can be prioritized by you and we just have time together where it's like we're watching TV together, we go out somewhere, or we cuddle or whatever it is. Like, I just want that affection and that closeness and that like priority, you know? And I think that's what it kind of comes down to when you boil all that down, is someone always wants to feel special and prioritized. So I think there's different ways to make it happen that could be more salvageable.
But the thing is, if we're sitting there, we're both working, it's like, dog, we're both prioritizing like something that's important and major in our lives. Now you want me to take the extra step to also prioritize you, but you should also be prioritizing me. I don't know. Am I wrong in thinking this?
No, I mean, yeah, you should be prioritizing each other.
Because I feel like she's just like, man, I want you to do this and this and that. But it's like, okay, like, can you like assist me in this? Like, can we work on something? Like,
well, no, I think at that point it's more of like, okay, and what would you like in return kind of thing. Like, what do you, because guys aren't the same usually. Yeah. They don't want the same stuff. So it's more like, this all also goes down to the whole love language thing. Because it's like at the end of the day, like I even saw it. It was like a meme or something. And it said, what is it? Like something along the lines of, if you, this is a terrible example probably, but it's like if you give, it has to do with food. It's not a good example.
Give a man a fish.
Well, okay, the only thing I can think of for some reason is if you were to gift a taco to somebody, but they're the type that want to go to Taco Bell with you and like have an experience.
Oh yeah, that'd be me.
But so you didn't do their love language is the key in that.
Yeah, because
is that
they don't care about necessarily the item. They care about having that time with you.
Right, and that's just an example. Yeah, because there's 5 of them. So like it's an example, but it's like, yeah. So for her, it seems, you know, and they would have to do the whole test and all that stuff. But like, I don't know. It seems like it's the whole, again, gestures and togetherness and like that kind of thing, which I'm pretty sure wasn't gestures or something a part of those languages in some way. Something.
It was titled on some word.
Yeah. So
like
it's
acts
like
of something.
So it's like that's where this boils down to is 1, that everyone wants to feel special and prioritized, and 2, love people the way they need to be loved. That's all it is.
But again, it also comes down to compromising because you have to figure out what you want to get to.
And how you can actually do that with crazy schedules and all that kind of stuff. Yes, obviously. But
I'm going to hit everyone again with the 3 C's. I feel like we say it for one episode and then don't bring it because it doesn't
pretty
fit.
Much. Well, I mean, it depends on the episode.
3 C's, if you're new, is consent, communication, and compromise.
Hey.
So that pretty much is what you need to like resolve your issues. Gotta communicate about it, gotta compromise, and gotta have consent to agree.
It kind of goes along with the whole, because you brought up how it's like, okay, well, what about, you know, the guy has to be loved or whatever too. And it's like what I say, because everyone always says like happy wife, happy life, and I'm sure I'm waiting for that to be said at our wedding or something. Like someone is going to bring it up somehow. But I've always said what we came up with is the happy spouse, happy house. Because it's true. Like, if one of y'all is not happy, it's not going to be a good time.
It is a major problem.
Period. I could be having the best day ever. And you could be miserable and really bugged by something I did earlier or something. And I come in, and if you're in that mood, the house ain't happy. Like, you know, and it's like, okay, so we gotta solve it.
I'm with you.
So I always hated that, because it's like, yeah, I feel like the older generation always used that, and it's like, I get the sentiment is that, yes, like the woman, you know, she has to bear the children, and she, you know, back in the day, she'd always have to take care of them in the house and all this different stuff. Sure. But like, okay, if you want to go with back in the day, the guy was the one that had to go out and work and do all that stuff. And it's like, that's exhausting too, to have to be the sole provider. And it's like, okay, so if I lose my job, we're fucked. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know.
I'm with you. And when someone says that to me, I'm just going to smile and nod my head and just keep on walking. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's when I usually bring up the phrase. Because I feel like if I bring it up versus you, it sounds better.
Pretty much.
Because, like, if you're saying it, it sounds like you're salty.
And it's probably not.
But if I'm saying it, they're like, oh, that's a good one.
It's going to be someone that you know more so.
Oh, yeah.
If it's someone I know,
think so,
I have
too.
no problem being like, nah, I'm good.
I mean, you don't mean like that. Cause,
I don't mean in like a rude way,
happy.
but I mean like, no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
And like, I want you to push me on my thoughts on it so we can have that conversation.
They'd be like, okay, well, enjoy the gift. I'm gonna go.
No,
see you guys in court in a few months.
Enjoy the gift. They're just gonna take the gift and run out. Like, why am I wasting my money?
Right. They're gonna be like, well, time to return this. This isn't gonna last. Clearly.
Like, shit.
Oh my gosh, there's I was talking to a bridesmaid recently or something, and they were saying how there was one wedding they went to and people were already taking bets, and they were like, oh, so like
wow.
they were like, how long or whatever, and at first someone thought they meant, oh, how long until they're gonna have a baby, and they're like, no, how long do you think until they're divorcing? And I'm like, wow.
Well, see, the sucky thing is
that's terrible.
You could see that with some couples where it's like, this isn't gonna
you
work
can
out.
But then you could also be wrong, because you never know. Because like you and I, if we got married 2 years ago, we would have been fucked if we didn't continue working on stuff. Mm-hmm. But we did the work, so like I don't know, you don't know with everybody.
Yeah,
it goes back to the whole like going through the motions and getting older and all that.
It's true.
But
it's true.
I mean, unless you just met like randomly and got married in Vegas and don't know each other and like that whole deal.
Why would you do that in the first place?
I mean, people do it.
You got bigger problems. Yeah, that's why I gotta say for this guy, if you guys just have to sit down and say like, okay, what time in our busy schedules can we
love each
like
other.
even do a lunch, as simple as that, like meet somewhere and just have a lunch together.
Man, I remember in the sort of beginning of our relationship.
Yeah, we used to do that a few times.
Yeah, when I would have my long breaks from the daycare,
and I had free time.
And
to, like,
we got like free Sonic ice cream once.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
See, but that was
nice.
See, that's not necessarily because our relationship, like the expectations changed. That's just like I had free time because I was working a full-time job.
Yeah, because you were at Target.
Yeah.
So, like, it was all over. And yeah.
That free time, whenever that was.
Yeah, and, like, I would come by on your shifts sometimes.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I mean, we could still do that. You just have to drive further away. Like,
yeah, but also, I never know your lunch because your lunch seems to always change.
No, it's whenever I feel like it.
Oh.
Just like when I'm working from home. Whenever I feel like it. Oh, I'm hungry now. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah. That's
all I got. I hope it works out. I mean, if everything's going good, don't let it go salty now. Just communicate. Like, just talk. At the end of the day, talking is what fixes a lot of stuff.
And I'm not with the people who are always just like, oh, you should just break up. Because, you know, when I was going through stuff, like, there were friends that would opt towards that. Like, there was this one friend who she had recently had gone through a breakup a little bit before, like when I was talking about our problems, and so then she was kind of like erring on the side of, oh, that sounds, because she had a similar thing, I guess, and she's like, oh, that kind of sounds like this, and so therefore maybe you should end it, and like those kind of things. And I'm like, like, I get it, because it's hard when you're like the friend looking from the outside in, because you can only give limited advice because you're not in it, and you want the best for the person, but like, and yeah, it's hard because, yeah, sure, I was spewing like all the negative. I wasn't saying anything good at the time. So sure, it seems it should go in that direction. But I don't know. It's like you never, the whole like, you shouldn't just end something. If you've invested time in it and there's potential there and you loved the person who they were and you could see yourself with the person in the future, but right now it's just hazy, like you can work through that usually. Yeah. So, but it's hard.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That's the thing that I love is how people think because we're not married that like, oh, we haven't we haven't been through that stuff. But guys, you'll have to tune in on Friday to hear more about that kind of topic.
The Friday episode that's coming.
I'm heated.
If you made it to this long, you
better have every single one of you should have listened this long.
This Friday's episode is us like irritated how everyone judges your relationship if you're not married.
Yep.
And this has been a heavy thing for us, like throughout our
whole
5 years being together. But now it's like been a major thing, at least for me, in the past like year or two. Like where people make their little comments and like they don't mean anything by it, but at the same time it's a problem. So
it's annoying. So tune in Friday because we got the tea.
Yeah, we got a whole lot to say. It's gonna be a really good episode. So check out that as a little sneak peek of what that's gonna be.
Did you like that segue? That was a good segue.
Yeah. So with that being said, I mean that's all I got right now. If you're good, I'm good.
That's all I got.
All right, guys. You know what it is. I gotta end out on this. If you're listening, I appreciate the support so much. Like, it is 100% greatly appreciated, as always. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please take the time out to just a quick minute to go and give us a review if you would like to on iTunes. It is much appreciated.
5 stars.
All that great stuff. Follow us on social media if you want to know when episodes are live. We're also posting clips up. If you're not watching YouTube videos, you can always go on Instagram or Twitter or wherever we're posting it. TikTok sometimes, Firework, if you know what that is, to listen to that.
Baby, you're a firework.
Dog, you're not Kylie. Relax.
Come on, let your colors burst. Make them go.
Babe, all right, chill. So you can find all that stuff in the description below. Feel free to check us out. Yeah, as always, guys, if you have questions, things you want to see on the episode, you want a topic that we haven't talked on, you want to know our thoughts on, shoot us an email at PagingTheSimpsons@gmail.com or send a voice message, whichever you prefer, and we'll play it on the episode. With that being said, it's time to wrap up and roll out. I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by.
You always say bye.
I guess, sure. Joined by my lovely fiance,
Lauren.
And we will see you guys on Friday's juicy episode.
Bye.
Peace out.